Thank you very much for coming back to join us. I just got an extreme pet peeve today. How many of you lie? How many of you tell the truth? Now, what the hell's the difference between the truth and a white lie? It's funny how people always tell me, well, white lie is kind of like telling somebody something they need to hear and pretending that it's not exactly about them. So think about that. That doesn't make sense to me. Everybody talks about it's okay to tell white lies. Why is it called a white lie? Is that just because people think white people lie all the time? I'm a little curious. But why is it a white lie? Think about that. Number below, text us, give me your opinion. If you don't have an opinion, I don't care. But welcome back to My Opinion, You're Welcome. This episode is going to be fun. Mark, one of the producers, is going to be reading some different topics to me with different scenarios, and I'm going to give my personal opinion on what the hell's going on. We ready?
Let's do it.
Get her done.
So why are these lies white? Although the word lie dates back to as early as 900, white lies is slightly newer. The Oxford English Dictionary traces the full word back to a 14th century letter. I do assure you he is unsuspected of any truth or other notable crime. This is not how I spell these words. Except a white lie. So this is white is in front of this word because of the old associations with black and white colors. White connotates goodness or purity, while black implies evil or darkness because of day and night, according to grammarists. The use of white has nothing to do with race. Another example of this is black magic and white magic.
Okay, that's for the Europeans out there who just fucked up that whole definition because there's no justification on either one of those.
Yeah, I just read 3 paragraphs and got nowhere.
And I'm right there behind you.
All right. So
Yes.
I got a life-changing situation. You ready for it?
Let's go.
All right. Well, walking in the park, you stumble upon a lost and frightened child who seems to have become separated from their parents. The child looks up at you with tears in their eyes, seeking help. I have 3 different options, and maybe you can go with one or come up with what you do.
Sure.
All right, option 1, approach and comfort. You decide to approach the child gently, crouch down to their level, and offer a warm, reassuring smile. You speak to them in a calm, soothing voice, asking their name and if they're lost. You assure them that you're there to help and that you'll help them find their parents. You then take their hand and start walking around the park looking for any signs of the child's parent or guardian. No?
Not a chance in hell.
All right, number 2, you contact park authorities and you take out your phone and call the park authorities or security to report this situation.
Possible.
Option 3, ask other park goers for help. You decide to call out the nearby park goers, explaining the situation, asking for their assistance. And then once a small group of concerned individuals gathers, this is when you check to see if anyone recognizes their child.
Now, see, I think ahead of myself. The first one, I wouldn't want to do that because if they see me walking with the child in the park by myself, they might think I kidnapped the kid. So that's not going to work. Mm-hmm. Number 2, park rangers, who God knows. Number 3, a group of people, you never know. Maybe the kid was kidnapped and the kidnapper's there because I've seen a lot of movies where that shit happens. Me personally, I would walk up to the young man or young girl and say, excuse me, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I'd say, what do your parents do for a living? And if they knew what their parents did and it was something that basically they made a lot of money, I'd help the child. If they didn't make a lot of money, I'd tell the child that, see that little room over there? You've got to go over there and ask for help. And then I'd say goodbye because, hey, I work a lot. My days are very, very difficult. I don't want to be babysitting somebody else's child because they're stupid enough to lose the little bastard. Next one, please.
All right. This is life-changing or dangerous situation. While driving alone on a remote mountain road, your car suddenly breaks down. You realize you're far away from civilization with no cell service and very little traffic. As you step out to inspect the engine, you notice a storm brewing on the horizon. Nightfall is approaching, and the temperature is dropping rapidly. Your survival is at stake.
Oh my God.
Option 1, do you stay with the vehicle? You decide to stay in your car knowing that it provides some shelter from other elements. Option 2, attempt to walk to safety, realizing that waiting might not be your best bet due to the approaching storm and dropping temperature, so you decide to leave a note on your car indicating the direction you're headed and the time you left. And number 3, signal for help. You remember learning about signal fires and survival scenarios. You collect dry wood and then light your car on fire so that you can make a big enough. I added that last part.
Well, first of all, the first one, I'd probably not know what the hell to do. Number one, I wouldn't be doing number two. That's for damn sure. Because first of all, what direction am I walking in? How the hell am I going to tell him? But if you leave a note, didn't say if I had a pen and pencil. Don't really carry one with me all the time. So that's kind of defeated. Number three, it's getting cold. Starting a fire would be a little bit difficult. If I didn't have gloves on, my hands would get numb. And, it'd be a little hard. I'd probably wait in the car, lock the doors, pray to Jesus, because I watch a lot of horror movies. There's no monsters out there. And if there are, what I'd do is I'd lay down in the back seat, but I'd lay down on the floor. And I'd take my shoes and I'd put them up against the window, but I wouldn't have my shoes on my feet. So therefore, it's a decoy. So if someone's going to come to kill me, they're going to stand there. Then I can open up the other door and run like a scared little motherfucker. But basically, out of all three of those, you're fucked no matter what. Because who the hell's going to come looking for you? Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. So what else you got?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, life-changing and challenging situation. You've been offered a new job opportunity that requires you to relocate to a different country. This opportunity comes with a substantial increase in salary and the chance to work on projects that align perfectly with your career goals. However, this also means leaving behind your family, friends, and the familiar environment you've known your whole life.
Okay.
So do you embrace the adventure? Do you prioritize your family and stability? Or do you negotiate a compromise?
Well, I'd look at it this way. First of all, it'd have to depend on the country. I'd have to see what kind of food you have, what kind of culture you have, if it's worth it to me. Is there extradition from your country? I'd have to take a look at that as well, because that would be very important for me. Number two, if my family's my family and the people I love are there, what I do is I'd see if I can negotiate getting airplane tickets for them to come visit. I would also figure out that I got lunch involved with everything too. I would have to take a look at the economy here in the United States. What are the taxes? Wherever else I'm going, are there taxes? Are they big? Are they bad? Are they good? Are they whatever? A lot would come in, but the reality is I would take the job under circumstances which I create, because if they want me that bad, they're going to work with me. And there's some compromise, but I damn well not move to a country that doesn't have good food. There you go.
Easy enough. All right, ethical dilemma.
Ethics, one of my favorites.
While working for a major pharmaceutical company, you discover evidence that a recently developed medication, which is about to be released to the market, might have severe, undisclosed side effects. These side effects could potentially harm a significant number of patients. You know that bringing this information to light could jeopardize your job and your career, but it could also prevent harm to many people. Would you, number one, would you report internally? Would you be the whistleblower and tell everybody on the internet? Or would you seek legal counsel?
Fuck you people that have a problem with this answer to be. I would see how much stock I have, what my shares are. I would make sure that everything is gone into effect and that everything is going to go public. The day it went public, the day my stocks went up, I'd sell my motherfucking stocks, then I would turn them in. That's how I would do it, because why shouldn't I benefit? And you think of this. If it's something that's going to help people, there's a lot of greedy people that want help. Doesn't mean that this thing's going to help them, so why should I suffer? But yes, that's what I would do. I would take care of myself first, and then I would make sure that I fuck those bastards over royally.
At the right time.
At the right time.
All right, this is a personal growth challenge.
Oh, I like growing. Fuck. What you got? This one sounds worse than it is.
The funny part is, like, I'm doing these as we're going via ChatGPT, and they're giving me some randomness, and I don't know what they are before I read them, but so far, so good. You've always dreamed of writing a novel, but you've never taken the leap. One day you come across a writing competition with a submission deadline 6 months away. The catch is that a competition requires participants to submit a complete novel manuscript. You're faced with the opportunity to finally pursue your dream, but it's a significant undertaking that will require dedication, time, and effort. Would you, one, embrace the challenge wholeheartedly? Would you, option two, dip your toes in the water? You're intrigued by the competition, but you feel uncertain about your ability to complete it? Or would you prioritize preparation and recognize the magnitude of this task? You chose to invest a significant amount of time into planning and research before diving into the writing.
Well, because I lived a lot of lives. I helped write a novel called The Bible, so I'm already satisfied with that. Number 2,
Pretty big undertaking to write that?
well, you know what? It took years and years. Vlad, my cousin, you might know him as Dracula. He's lived thousands of years. I didn't get that much luck. First of all, why the fuck would I want to write a novel? Second of all, that takes a lot of time. Third of all, my first book, The Bible, has been in multiple different languages. I don't speak any of them but English, so that's pretty sad. But I would have no interest in writing a novel. No. I'd rather write some really steamy sex scenes for a website that has a lot to do with sex called Darkness Purest Pleasure.
Life-changing. You discover that a close friend has been spreading hurtful and untrue rumors about you behind your back. This revelation comes as a shock, as you've always valued their friendship and trusted them. You're faced now with this decision of how to address the situation and whether to salvage the friendship or distance yourself. Do you confront and communicate? Do you seek mediation? Or do you prioritize self-care and distance?
Well, here's what I would do, and here's what I have done. I got a friend who works for me. His name is Jason. When shit like this happens, I call Jason. I said, Jason, can you do some research on the internet, social media, see what we can find out? Then, if there's proof that this person did this, then I would slowly but surely destroy their fucking life. You don't have to get mad at someone. You don't have to physically fight someone. It's emotional war. And I would take the high road because that's what would make me feel good about myself. Some people say it's the wrong thing to do, but those people I don't allow in my life anymore. This is my opinion. This is how I would handle it. But if you're going to hurt me, I'm coming after you and your kids. Yes, that's how it goes.
All right. So we got, this one is a fantastical adventure.
Fantastical.
Yeah. So
Sounds like something out of a J.K. Rowling's fucking movie.
This is written by her, the ChatGPT version of her. While exploring a dense and ancient forest, you stumble upon a hidden glade.
Sounds the same.
Yeah, a hidden glade where a majestic unicorn stands. Its coat shimmering in the dappled sunlight. The unicorn seems to emit an aura of magic and wisdom. It approaches you with curiosity, nudging your hand gently. You're faced with an otherworldly encounter that could forever alter your perception of reality. Do you approach the unicorn with a deep sense of reverence, recognizing the rarity and significance of this encounter? Do you seek knowledge and guidance? And because you're intrigued by the unicorn's aura of wisdom, you decide to engage in a meditative state or a trance-like state, seeking to connect with the unicorn on a deeper level? Or do you capture the moment? Do you feeling overwhelmed by the magical encounter, you decide to document the experience and share with others? You take out a camera or a smartphone and capture photos and videos of this unicorn and sell them to TMZ.
First of all, fuck TMZ, number one, because if you pulled out a phone in front of a unicorn, they're going to run. Now, see, earlier I thought you said when it was going to glaze my genitals. Now, if the unicorn was going to glaze my genitals, I would engage the gentle. But to me, a unicorn, from my understanding, when it comes to a dark world, is a third party that joins a husband and his wife, and they're to have sex and enjoy a throuple of a relationship. But I do believe in unicorns. I believe in fairies. I believe in the tooth fairy. I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in everything that can give you money and a gift. But if I were to see a real unicorn, I'd probably fucking pass out, because that means either I'm dead, or the fantasies that I've had come true, or that I'm in some foreign country and somebody stapled a fucking ice cream cone on some poor horse's head. But yeah, I'll stick with my definition of unicorn. That's a partner for pure pleasure and sex.
Okay. Here's a political encounter.
Oh, I'm really good with politics.
While attending a public event, you unexpectedly find yourself in a small group conversation that includes former President Donald Trump. The discussion becomes focused on a pressing national issue, and you have the opportunity to express your opinions and engage with one of the most controversial figures in recent political history. Do you, number one, engage in a constructive debate? Number two, listen and learn? Or three, respectfully disengage?
Well, first of all, I'd approach it like Audrey Hepburn. Oh, Donald. On Golden Pond was a wonderful movie. On Golden Blonde is all about you. I would first be mesmerized by his hair that he parts on one side and folds it on the other side. I'd have no respect for the man because why? He didn't earn my respect. He didn't earn anybody's respect. I'd ask questions. I'd engage him. Then again, we'd get him to incriminate himself, which he does every time he opens his mouth. But then again, I'd also ask him at that time about his children. I wonder why he allowed his children to have such fucked up teeth with all the money he has. Those two boys' teeth, they make English people look like they fucking own a dental shop. God bless Donald Trump because that's the only thing he has left. Thank you. Anything else that's more important than Donald Trump?
Yeah, sports dilemma.
Oh, hey, I played sports once.
All right. As a professional NBA player, you've built a successful career and reputation through hard work and dedication. However, a recent injury threatens your ability to perform at your best. The team's management insists that you can continue playing through this injury. Believing that your presence is crucial to the team's success, you're faced with a difficult decision: play through the pain or retire from the sport you love. The dog has an opinion, it sounds like. Option 1, play through the injury. Option 2, prioritize long-term health. Or number 3, negotiate a middle ground.
Well, here's the way I'd look at it. I'd look at my contract. If I had a contract guaranteed for 5 to 10 years, like some of these young men and women in the WNBA, I would just sit there and take care of myself because nothing they can do. If it was a 50-year contract or if I was year to year, I'd think about it. I'd ask them what is in it for me other than helping you. That's the reality. You got to take care of yourself. But everybody has a different thing of looking at what self-care is. The bottom line is my pockets need to be lined, and I don't mean with lint. I would take care of myself in every which way, but if they needed me to play that much, I would have the upper hand. Because think about this. The minute I leak the information that you wanted me to jeopardize my life, what do you think is going to happen? Come on. It's kind of like the Lakers. Come on. Yeah, I'd go for the money. Money, money, money. Hey. Money.
That's exactly how it goes. Oh, here's an adventure with a fear of heights. Do you like heights?
I'm scared to death to stand on a fucking stool.
Okay. You're presented with the opportunity to participate in a unique adventure trip to beautiful mountainous region. The trip includes activities like hiking to breathtaking viewpoints, zip lining across canyons, and a chance to try skydiving. However, you've had a lifelong fear of heights that has held you back from such experiences. This is a chance to conquer your fear and embrace new challenges. Do you do a gradual exposure and support and you decide to face your fear head on? Do you choose selective participation, understanding the limits of your fear, or do you push through your boundaries and do it?
Well, let me tell you about heights. I'm scared shitless of heights. But then again, is there any money to be made? That's something. Is there a group of women that might be impressed by my being macho and jeopardizing my life? That's another reason. I wouldn't fucking do any of it. I got up in a plane once. I was going to do skydiving. I had to hold on to the thing. I paid a shitload of money, did not do it. I went to go ziplining once. I sat in the harness and I knew to God I was going to die. 3 people later, after I didn't do it, the damn thing snapped. So Jesus was with me that day. If I don't have to, when I get on a plane, the good thing about getting in a plane, when it goes down, it's quick. You don't know what's going on. My luck, I'd be 1 out of 500 that lived, and I'd be in the middle of the ocean, kind of like JFK, but JFK Jr. didn't have anybody to help him, from my understanding. I'm not a fan of heights. That's why I don't go mountain climbing. That's why I don't go hiking, because when you're lost, you're lost. That's how I look at this shit.
When you're lost, you're lost.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is a romantic dilemma.
Oh, I've had romance once.
You find yourself in a
2018.
surprising situation where you have caught the attention of 2 prominent celebrity women. Emma is a talented actress known for her wit and intelligence, and Sophia is a successful musician celebrated for her creativity and passion. Both women are interested in you romantically, and each possesses unique qualities that make the decision difficult. I just know exactly where you're going with this. Option 1, honesty and transparency. Option 2, take time for self-reflection. Option 3, focus on one connection. Option 4, do what you gotta do.
Who the fuck? First of all, I would never a celebrity. First, I got Emma, who sounds like she's from England. Sophia, now she sounds spicy. She could be Latin American. She could bring, a lot of good things. And I love the attitude of Latin American women. There's not a celebrity in this world that I'd want to date. There's not a celebrity in this world that I people say, who would you want to play you in a movie? Oh, fuck, the only person who could play me is already dead. His name's Jesus. But the reality is, it just doesn't, not a turn on that. That scenario would never happen. Because if I had no choice and you said to me, you're going to die, or you had to, it'd be all three of us. We would play the unicorn game. And not only throuple, we do a hell of a lot of other things too. And then, just to top it off, I'd say goodbye. This is a one-night stand, ladies. Enjoy. What else you got for me?
All right. So,
sounds good.
yeah. So I want to make this one a little better.
Can't get any better than what we got.
No, better than it was. The one it gave me was decent, so I did what anybody would do, and I included Morgan Freeman. I said rewrite it, but include Morgan Freeman. So while participating in an ocean research expedition, you have the extraordinary privilege of having Morgan Freeman, a passionate advocate for nature, on board with you. During the voyage, you encounter a distressed whale entangled in a fishing net. The magnificent creature is struggling to free itself, and you're faced with a pivotal decision that could impact not only the whale, but also the environment and the world's perception of marine conservation. And Morgan Freeman. Option 1, you dive to rescue the whale, guided by Morgan Freeman's wisdom. Number 2, do you seek Morgan Freeman's advice and recognize the significance of the situation? You turn to Morgan for some advice and perspective. Or 3, raise awareness and call for action. In the presence of a passionate advocate like Morgan Freeman, you decide to use this encounter as an opportunity to raise awareness about marine conservation and the plight of ocean creatures.
First of all, whoever wrote that didn't, it's year 2023. First of all, there's no net big enough for a fucking whale. Okay, and if the whale can be in a net, it ain't a whale. It's probably a shark. Why would you jump in with the shark? Maybe the guy was freaking dyslexic, couldn't read, couldn't see. Morgan Freeman, first of all, I could think it's the movie Seven, where he got his partner's wife killed, something like that. So I would really ask him for advice. You see his commercials. His commercials are fun. He's a great actor, but really could give a shit about what he thinks about the nature of the environment. Let me tell you, stick to acting, stick to whatever it is you do, Morgan, but God, don't get in a boat. Whatever you do, don't get in a boat, because none of us are getting out of that boat. That's how I would handle the situation, and you're welcome.
Okay, so this is a bit of an adventure. You embark on a unique journey that unexpectedly involves the characters from 101 Dalmatians. In a whimsical twist of fate, you find yourself responsible for taking care of all 101 Dalmatians, each with their distinct personality and quirks. As you navigate the charming but challenging situation, you're faced with decisions that could shape the lives of these beloved dogs. You got it?
I got it.
What would you do?
I'd lay on the ground, let him pee on me, and come over and I'd be like, hello, honey, puppy. You could talk like a 5-year-old. You can have a great time. You can eat stacks with them. Oh, my God, that would be heaven. That would be fucking heaven. And I don't know what the rest of the questions were, but oh, my God, 101 Dalmatians. Now, if you had 101 corgis, that would be a little bit better. 101, pugs. But anything with animals, I would just lay down. Yeah.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that. This next one, in a delightful twist of fate, you find yourself in the care of joyful, energetic group of 101 corgis. And each corgi has their own unique personality. Option 1, embrace the playful chaos. I don't think we need any more options for that. Wow. Twist of fate.
Oh, my God.
What's the first word that comes to your mind?
In what?
In life.
Sex.
It didn't let me do that last time. Let me see.
What's the first word that comes to your mind?
Corgis.
Wow, you really got to work on that. Fuck.
I did the sex one and said, I'm sorry, but I cannot generate or engage in explicit or adult content. Another word that's not sex.
Is that for our OnlyFans page coming up soon? We will be having an OnlyFans page for me. Just want to let you know that. It will be tremendous. It will be fabulous. It'll be things you've never seen before, because no one's ever seen me naked.
Boom. All right, so this is a fitness journey.
Uh-huh.
You've made a firm commitment to transforming your health and fitness, and you decide to embark on a dedicated gym routine. As you immerse yourself in this journey, you're faced with the decisions that could significantly impact your physical and mental well-being. Option 1, consistent routine and balanced diet. Option 2, group classes and social motivation. Or option 3, personal trainer and intensive training.
No groups, no personal trainer, because I would know what to do. It's simple. I'd read a book, tell me how to do it, get it done. I go to the gym, but I stick to myself. I have no need to be around other people. And a group, what the hell do you want? I don't understand group classes. If it's motivating, then you're not motivated. If you need other people, if you can't do it by yourself, it's like masturbation. Do you need somebody else to be there? No. You need a good book. You need a good movie. You need videos of people you don't know. Yes.
That's what you need.
You're damn right.
All right, here's a life-changing situation.
What?
It's a mountain adventure. You've been drawn to take the thrill of mountaineering and decide to embark on a daring expedition and climb a challenging peak. As you ascend the mountain, you encounter treacherous conditions and face choices.
I hate to interrupt you, but you heard me on fucking heights before, right? So let's go to something else. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to get panic attack thinking about this. I walk up your stairs and I start to freak out.
That's hilarious.
Holy shit, mother of God.
Okay, I got you here. Another one include no heights.
Oh, no heights. Oh, it's going to be a lot of little people. I'm sorry. I love The Wizard of Oz. Pardon me.
This is more than one word. Yearly physicals.
Needed by everybody. I wish I was a doctor. Yes, it'd be fun to provide them. Yearly physicals, perfect.
Apple.
Gassy. Make me gassy.
Sunset.
Beautiful. If you're with someone that you really enjoy, it's wonderful, especially when you're looking into their eyes and the sun's right behind you, and it's very climactic.
Bookshelf.
Bookshelves are great because they're not just for books. Seriously.
Laughter.
The greatest gift in the world. The greatest gift right after sex.
Piano.
Amazing, amazing instrument. Wish I could play it, but hell no.
Firefly.
You know, those things are really cool. When we were little, we used to capture them and put them in glasses and stuff, and it was really cool because you could see, but then all of a sudden they die. So, short-lived, but fireflies, God made them, so they got to have something good in life.
Yeah, Jai just caught some for the first time in Michigan.
Oh, they're really cool.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Brilliant actor. He's an activist. He does a lot of things. And any movie he makes, I'll go see because it's intriguing, works with wonderful people, tells a storyline. And all those people out there who are making comments about who he dates, who the fuck cares? Jesus, age does not matter. Well, make sure they're over 18, of course. But God, lay off of it. People are calling him names and, saying things about him. A lot of women are doing it. Sometimes when people are jealous, they put other people down. The guy's done nothing to deserve any of this stuff.
The Olympic bobsled team.
Well, if it's from Jamaica, congratulations. No, they did a wonderful job when they made it to it. A hell of a sport. I would not like to get hit by one of them damn things, but I think it's fantastic that it's an interesting, odd sport that people train all year long for. When you grow up, how many kids when they're younger say, I want to go and do a bobsled? I don't know because they're all for fucking England. I have no idea.
Music festivals.
They could either be great or bad. The music's great. A lot of people, tons of drugs, tons of negative things, tons of things that are done that are good, that are bad. But when you got to go spend a lot of money just to tell somebody you were there, it's a little pathetic. But you know what? They're going to have them out there. People go. They're big money makers. As long as you're having a good time and enjoying yourself, go ahead. But you won't find me at them.
Health trends.
It's a tough one because health trends, there's so many of them. And it's all based upon what somebody's looking for. If you're looking for somebody else to tell you how to live your life, God, there's a million of them out there. If you take the time to know your body and your mind and what works for you, that's a different story. But so many fad diets, so many gyms, so many of this, so many of that. Everything works if you do the work, not if you take someone else's advice. They can give it to you, and that's great, and we need that. But health trends, there's a lot of them out there that just don't work for everybody. You're not going to be the person you see in a picture. Just remember that. I am not Jesus. And in my mind, I think I am.
Music therapy.
Amazing. Some of the work I do, they have music therapy, and it's amazing because it brings something out in you. It allows you to be part of something. The whole world, music and everything we do makes things better. And I think music therapy is phenomenal for people. It really helps them tremendously.
Ancient civilizations.
They existed. We've got all the history and facts. I'm glad that we never lived back then. I would never want to live in the time of the Mayans. You know, they sacrificed so many people. The time of the Romans were, depending on where you were born and into what, life. No. But ancient civilizations there, it's amazing what they did back there and how they built things. God, it's phenomenal to learn more every day of my life. And thank you, TikTok.
Scientific discoveries.
Very cool. I'm always amazed when people come up with new things. And you think about it, they say it's a discovery. It's been there. It's just something we haven't found yet. So some people get excited about it. It's been there. People haven't found it. But I think it's amazing because it just talks more about mankind, talks more about history, allows us to see things that we don't see, and allows us to think about things we never thought about before. And then once you think about something now, it opens up your mind to many different things. I think they're awesome. It's really fucking cool.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. First of all, I don't want to offend anybody, but where the fuck did they first come up with that? You know, back then it was okay. Nowadays, if you see the remake, I believe, of Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs, I think about 5'11", 6 o'clock. Don't know why I said 6 o'clock. How about 6 feet tall? Boring as shit to me. I watched it once. Hello, and all this. Oh wait, that's the Wizard of Oz and the witches. But it's okay. Now, if you've ever seen the porn movie Snow White and the Seven Dorks, that's pretty good too. I'm sorry, not dorks, excuse me. The Seven Vibrators. Go ahead.
Field trips.
Oh, when we were in grade school, they were fucking awesome because you got to go to candy factories, you got to go to the zoo, you got to go to some place that was educational, and if they had food, you got samples. I think they're wonderful. The only problem is parents need to go. You can't send your nanny. You can't send your aunt, your grandma. It's a great collaboration with the families and stuff, but I think field trips, no matter grade school, high school, college, wherever you go, when you go on field trips, go to Europe, you go to different places, I think they're phenomenal and they should continue. Yeah.
Entrepreneurship.
Phenomenal if you can do it. There's nothing wrong with having that mind, but you got to be able to have a process, put that process one step in front of the other, and make it happen. Everybody thinks they're an entrepreneur. Well, if you're an entrepreneur and you're sitting in your parents' basement and you've got nothing but the internet and a 1987 computer, you're not really doing it well.
College education.
Get one. It's a gift to yourself. Because no matter what you do, you can always use your education. And not just the education, the people you meet. You don't know who you're going to meet, who a year from now is going to discover one of the greatest discoveries in the world, who's going to discover a medicine, who's going to create a corporation. It's all about networking. But there's a great experience getting a college education. And the more you know, the better off you are. Look at me. I went to high school.
Part B is the price of college education.
Fucking go to school, get your loans, and don't pay. That's all I got to say. Yes.
Venmo.
And it's funny. I was in a relationship for a while, and I'd always go deposit money in the person's account on a weekly basis to help many different things. Venmo existed. I knew nothing about it. Then when I got it, I'm like, son of a bitch. What a great gift. But then Venmo can also be crazy because, you can use Venmo to bet. You can use Venmo for hookers. I read that. But it's a great invention, if you call it an invention. But it really is normalized, simplified, and done a lot. I really think it's great.
Did you know that PayPal owns Venmo?
Yes, I've banned from PayPal. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Long story, but borderline illicit shit.
Real plants versus fake plants.
Well, in my place, they all die. And sometimes I can't tell the difference. Why would you have a fake fucking plant? They're ugly to me. Real plants, it's a sense of responsibility. It's the plants are beautiful. It makes things nurturing. It gives you something to do. It keeps you active. What do you do with a fake plant? You dust it off. I don't get the shit. To me, they should not be around. Yes.
Jogging.
I love it. I'm a runner, and not just from the police. I love to run. It's great. It feels good. The body, fresh air. Jogging's great for you. Not great for everybody because it has different effect on everybody. Walking is just as good. Sometimes it's even better for people. But jogging's great as long as you don't get hit by a car, bit by a dog, ran over by a truck. There's all kinds of things you got to be aware of. And also make sure that, you're covered up because you don't want to be running around half-ass naked in the sun.
Y2K.
Y2K. Here and there, it's over. Yes.
Audiobooks.
Phenomenal because you get to hear, you get to be brought into a story. Reading is great, but the audio, hearing somebody's voice, and if there's a little music behind it, it takes you into a bigger fantasy. It takes you into more detail, in my mind. I think they're great. I've been listening to the same one for almost 11 years. Haven't finished it yet.
Gym memberships.
Oh, fuck. How many of you have a gym membership? I think, what is it? Right after the holidays, they all go up and you don't pay. Then it's automatic and you don't know what to do. I had a membership, 24-hour fitness, probably 9-10 years. I still get something every month. You didn't pay. Well, I'm not with you anymore. They fuck you royally. They screw you royally. Be careful with them. But memberships are good if you use them. Don't just have a membership to say you have one. Use it. But be careful because there's a lot of slimy people in the gym membership industry.
Separating the person from the art.
It's difficult for a lot of people. You have a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and they have a hard time separating themselves from whatever field they're in. I always look at it this way. When someone has a nickname, a singer, an actor, an athlete, that's a persona versus who they really are. I think it's difficult for a lot of people because a lot of people like you for who you are in the public. They don't know you privately. So you're going to live that public life to gain attention and meet people. But privately, you could be somebody completely different. We're not sure about Lizzo now, but there you go. Personality versus reality.
Golf clapping.
Who hears that? First of all, I've been thrown off of most golf courses because I just have a hard time. Great sport, but, it's ridiculous.
Tiger Woods.
Athlete, phenomenal. Brilliant, one of the greatest. He got hurt, his career went down. Once he started sleeping with everybody, his career went downhill. You got to figure how much you've got to do, lies, secrets, stories, behind the scene to keep what happened in his life. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't really care. But the bottom line is, from a golfer, phenomenal. But then when all this happened and everything, he's gone downhill. Golf, to me, is probably 80% mental and 20% physical. I mean, you obviously got to not play the game, but, it's you against grass. It's you against a course. It's a brilliant sport. I love watching it, but I think he's one of the greatest ever, and I don't give a shit what he did in his private life.
Camping near bears.
Look, I don't camp near humans, let alone a fucking bear. If you're going camping near a bear, you're in his territory or her territory. Whatever happens to you, you deserve. God, and if you're not smart enough when you go camping and they have them in campsites now to put your food in these things so the bears can't get it, fuck you, you're dead.
Speaking of bears, what is the next year that the Chicago Bears will win the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm a Bears fan, and you threw that to pour salt on the wound. I would like to say fuck you, but I appreciate that. It won't be for at least another 25 years.
25?
Yeah, I mean, I love them, but Jesus Christ, they're just annoying. They got an administration that needs to be straightened out. They got a quarterback they're not sure if he's the best. They got a good new wide receiver. They got some offensive line. It's going to be a long, long time. You got to put it all together. I'm always amazed in sports where they say, well, we got a great one guy, 11 guys on defense, 11 on offense. You got to play defense, offense, and special teams. They all click together, but no, my Bears aren't going anywhere, sadly.
Yankees fans versus New York Mets fans.
Well, both of them have a lot of history. Both of them talk with an accent. Both of them are obnoxious. Yankees a little more arrogant because they've won more World Series. But would you rather go to Yankee Stadium or to the Mets Stadium? What's it called now? Citi Field or something like that. Both the owners have a lot of money. But New York fans are all the same. Obnoxious, rude, arrogant. Best people to be around if you're going to have a good time at a game. They don't even have to drink to be assholes.
Licorice.
Well, red licorice, black licorice, could never figure that shit out. Never. It tasted like, I don't even know what a dog's butt tastes better. Red licorice is great, but yeah, I don't even know the purpose of licorice, to tell you the truth. But when we were kids, we'd use it to suck the soda like a straw. Always sugar upon sugar. My mother used to do that. She didn't give a fuck about us. She gave us sugar. Yeah, that's what it was.
Making your bed in the morning.
Every morning, the first thing I do is get up and make my bed. I don't care how filled my bladder fills. I get up and make my bed. I do the corners. I can't leave where I'm at. Even a hotel, I make the bed. I think it starts the day better, gives me some sense of responsibility, some sense of uniformity in what I'm going to do through the day. Make your damn beds. I don't care who you are. If you pee the bed, change it though.
Gen Z.
Another one. I don't think there's really any difference between any generation. Everybody wants a nickname, Gen Z, Gen X. We are who we are. There are people that are in their 60s doing everything people are doing in their 20s. There's people in their 30s doing everything people are doing in their 70s. Everybody wants to put a label on something. There's no difference between any of us. That's all I got to say.
You stumped me.
Well, Stumpy, that was a friend of mine. I do believe Stumpy was a character. Wasn't that the rabbit in Disney, Stumpy?
Was it?
I don't know. One of the little rabbits going, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Nike.
Phil Knight created one of the most amazing things. I think it was for the runner was the first one. He made the shoes. A great organization. It's done a lot, donates a lot of money. Oregon is gifted tremendously by having this man. You got to figure out who you're going to give your shoe deals to. Some of these sick sons of bitches out there. But done a lot of good. Done a lot of bad too, like any corporation. Overseas, having people make whatever it is they're making for you, paying them very little money. But people always say that's the American way. It's the worldly way. Get something done, pay the cheapest amount of money. But overall, it's made a difference. It could do a hell of a lot better in many ways.
Yeah, in his book, he talks about when he was doing stuff overseas that he supposedly wanted to pay more, tried that, but then they stepped up and were like, do not, that's going to change everything in our country if you try to pay them more.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. But
it's a good story.
It's a tricky, yeah.
Yeah, that's Phil's, that's his version.
It's his side, yeah.
He's an 80-year-old guy. How the fuck does he know now? Yeah.
Entrepreneurship.
We went over that.
On the internet.
Brilliant. That's what you do. You find ways to make things happen. Social media, the internet and social media are phenomenal if it's used correctly. It could be used different. It could be used for the negative, a lot of bad things. But if you find the right team and you know a niche that you can do, it's brilliant. Because think about it. You don't need an office space. You don't need other people. You might need people to help you with projects, but I think it's using the internet and social media for entrepreneurship is the way of the year 2023.
Leaving your hometown.
It's funny. I grew up in a small town. I always say small town, but it's Sacramento. When I go to see my family and I come back, it's hard to leave because they're my family. I think that everybody should leave their hometown at some time and see what else is out there. Travel, go to a different place, find out. I'm not saying don't ever come home, but find out what other options you have. It was never hard for me to leave when I left. I left when I was young. What was hard is sometimes when I still go back, it's hard because my family and I have friends, but I don't think there's anything difficult in it, and everybody should try it. And then if you can't find success anywhere, you're not happy, go home. But try something different so you don't just stay stagnant. That's my opinion, and you're welcome.
Thunderstorms.
Scare the fuck out of me. When I was in the 4th grade, we were in Rio Linda, California, and it was raining like a son of a bitch. We got out of the car, and it was thunder all over the place. My brother slammed the door, and my raincoat got caught in the door. And I was standing out there screaming and yelling. I thought I was going to frickin' die. And no one helped me for a good, seemed like hours, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Ever since then, thunderstorms just scare the crap out of me because good English, I seen where people get hit by lightning. That stuff is real. Yep.
Tornado chasers.
You need a lot of therapy. You need a really good will. You need a really good life insurance policy. But man, that must be amazing. It's got to be phenomenal to see that phenom happen. And you look at its wind and you see where it picks up homes, the dynamic and the strength of that. But if you're chasing it, God damn, take your Prozac the next day. Yeah.
Speed readers.
Like I said, I've still been listening to an audio for fucking 11 years. I think it's amazing. I have a couple of friends that literally are speed readers, and it's amazing. And everything they read, if you can do it and comprehend it and get something from it and remember it, I think it's great. But there are people out there that can do that. I'm not one of them.
Life imitating art or art imitating life?
I think that it goes both ways, and it happens. It's real. Life imitating art. Think of things that happen and things that are out there and things that you go through, and you're like, damn, did I see that? Did that happen again, or what have you? They both go hand in hand, and they're real, because life does imitate art, and there's a lot of art there, and art imitates life. Without life, how the hell are you going to create art? That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Drag queens.
Phenomenal. All you people out there that think that a drag queen is going to recruit your child, you're a fucking idiot, or a white Republican, same thing. And God, they're not out to hurt anybody. It's just like anything. If you don't want drag queens, why are you people okay with porn? Think about in Florida. You don't want certain things to happen, but your hotels serve porn. Those kids, I don't mean serve, not like it's a dish, but no, I mean the drag shows, there's nothing wrong. They're not hurting anybody. And just like anything, there are people that are good drag queens. There are people that are bad, just like any aspect of life, but they're not out there to do anything wrong. And you religious fanatics, get over it. You talk about God, and if your God is the God you say, he accepts everybody. Stop pretending that you're better than somebody because you're not. Because a lot of you sons of bitches in your private lives, how many of you dress up? How many of you role play? How many of you play games? Think about a lot of these Christian guys, these pastors and ministers that gay people are bad, and you come to find out they've had a relationship with another man for 20 years. Nothing wrong with that, but when you hate yourself so much, you got to make sure everybody hates everybody. You're worthless to me. Yes.
Waterbeds.
You know, they've gone out of style. Remember when they were in style? Jesus Christ. It was like, by yourself, it's like, okay, but if you're having sex on a waterbed, it fucking helps because it gets the wave. It gets the wave. It gets the wave. You don't have to worry about moving your hips so much. But my worst experience in the waterbed is, I'm not sure what the hell happened, but it popped in the middle of the night and I thought I was fucking drowned. I was dreaming. I woke up and I was in fucking water. I think they're great. I think they're fun, but it's just kind of hard to get a good night's sleep. They're good for an orgy, though.
Repetitive nightmares.
That I'm an expert at because I have them all the time. I have these horror nightmares in the worst situations with monsters, with creatures, with people trying to kill me. They're horrible. There is certain meds that can help you with nightmares, and if you have them, you should see a doctor and talk about that. But yeah, they're sometimes I'm afraid to go to sleep. So they're very difficult to deal with. Very difficult.
Washcloth versus loofah.
All right, you're really fucking moving, searching for things, aren't you? Well, first of all, a loofah feels good on your ass. Washcloth, a little too rough. You can't wash your balls with a fucking washcloth. That's for damn sure. Loofah, you can get all the soap on there and stuff. Loofah is much better. It feels soothing. Hey, if you ever use a washcloth, it's you using it. A loofah feels like it could be an angel, could be a fairy, could be anybody you want. But loofah, I'll go with loofah.
All right, I got one more.
I got one more answer.
Need a drum roll for this one. The flock of seagulls hairdo.
It looks like a flock of seagulls shit on his head. That's the ugliest fucking hairdo. Just fucking ugly. But then again, that was the style back then. Like Duran Duran's going back out on concert. And
really?
Yeah, they're starting at one of the casinos out here, and it's kind of like, damn. Once these men and women get to a certain age, they have a lot of money invested in plastic surgeons. But that hairdo was just killing me. Not even really a hairdo. If you look at it, well, if you look at it, he's showing me the picture. It's more like there's a V for vagina. It could be spaceship. But he's blinded in one eye. So, no wonder they didn't last that long. But if you get that haircut now, no one's going to care. It's just part of life. Everything comes back around. Bell bottoms come back around. Vinyls come back around. Group sexes come back around. All these things lead back to pleasure. Anyhow, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Hopefully people enjoyed this. If not, then, there's always a bunch of other podcasts you can listen to because the reality is this one's going to make you think. It's going to make you think hard about yourself and about life. And as I just knock my fucking teeth out, it's going to make me think about a new dentist. But thank you very much. Send in, text us, call us. We'd love your opinion. We'd love to hear what you have to say to make our show better. Be part of the show at some time. We'll read whatever you have to offer. But thank you for this episode. And my opinion, you're welcome. And all social media, you can follow us, and we'll be there. We'll be there. Yes, we will.